Mahomes practiced for the second straight day, and more importantly, with a helmet on. So, Acho, you have any concerns for Patrick Mahomes on Sunday?
Nah, big dog. Nah. I mean, I know in theory we should. Nah, I ain't got none. And I don't have any because of what Patrick Mahomes has shown me. I got to be honest with you. Patrick Mahomes, 24 wins in his last 25 games. I ain't got concerns over that. Patrick Mahomes, you got Andy Reid as your head coach, Eric Bieniemy as your OC. You got Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, Nico Hardman. I ain't got no concerns for that.
Goodness, hard enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, block over.
I ain't got no concerns for that.
Video game.
If nothing else, let's look at the other times Patrick Mahomes has had to take breaks from ball.
Okay.
Whether bye weeks, whether injuries, whatever the case may be. He had to take a break from ball week 10 of 2019. Remember, he got hurt, came back against the Titans, came back 3 touchdowns, no picks, 72% completion percentage. Then he had to take a break from ball before that Texans playoff game, 5 touchdowns, no interceptions. Then he had to take a break from ball again before the Browns game, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, 1 rushing, 1 passing. So when I look at Patrick Mahomes and having to take his breaks from ball, if you will, I see 3 touchdowns, no picks, 5 touchdowns, no picks, 2 touchdowns and 2 quarters, no picks. Patrick Mahomes is so good at playing this position. Andy Reid, Eric Bieniemy are so good at preparing him on Sundays. And then he has such a plethora of talent out there that I just don't see how I can have concerns about Mahomes because he's never given me a reason to have a concern prior.
Okay. I can't walk into any ball game and I've never walked into any ball game since Pop Warner with 0 concerns for the other team or 0 concerns whether I was the favorite or I was the underdog. It's always a concern. Like football, I mean, it's warfare out there for us, brother. It's hell to pay every time you go out there. Look at Patrick Mahomes' last game. If he would have walked out there with 0 concerns, he didn't walk out with 0 concerns.
He walked in with no concerns. He walked out with several.
Right. Including where am I? So let's just be real about that. I am concerned about him. He's compromised right now. Whatever you want to say about the concussion, the neck injury, the nerve injury, his foot, his toe injury, whatever you want to say, he's not at full strength. But I guess you can feel better because no one is at full strength this time in the playoffs. But that said, he's facing a team, at least defensively, that feels like they're at full strength. And that's the Buffalo Bills and that defense. Of the 4 remaining defenses, they're the best in terms of scoring defense, only allowing 13.5 points a game. Think about it. They faced the Indianapolis Colts team with a tremendous offensive coordinator named Nick Sirianni. I mean, I've never said that together before today. But 472 yards of total offense, 0 turnovers, and the Buffalo Bills still win that game, gave up 24 points. Next time they go out there, they see the Baltimore Ravens only give up 3 points to one of the hottest teams in football. Hey, the Bills not playing any games on the defensive side. But let's talk about Patrick Mahomes. And this is a stat, this is a line that it should be disturbing. Only Drew Brees had a bigger drop-off from the beginning of the year to the end of the year in terms of passer rating. Only Drew Brees. So if you look at Patrick Mahomes and try to, like, give him trimesters, you know what I'm saying? Remember, we had semesters and these kids start coming up with, oh, no, I got thirds of a year. Okay, whatever. Week 1 through week 12, Patrick Mahomes was Patrick Mahomes.
Yep.
Week 13 all the way to last week, or at least to the half, that wasn't Patrick Mahomes. Then you saw him in the Cleveland game for a half, and you're like, kind of Patrick Mahomes, almost there, but not fully Patrick Mahomes. The point is, if you're going to ride that roller coaster ride, if you're Patrick Mahomes and you're going against a defense as stout as the Buffalo Bills, it might be something of concern.
Yeah, there might be a little bit reason. I understand why you would say that. But even if Patrick Mahomes isn't at 100%, what we know is that he's so much better, we might not even be able to see it or feel it.
That's fact.
Think about it. Patrick Mahomes, 5-1 in his career in the playoffs. In his short career in the playoffs, only quarterback in NFL history to average over 30 points a game in the playoffs. His team averages 33.5 with a minimum of 5 starts. So Patrick Mahomes, even if he's a little off, even if he struggles a little bit, we really going to be able to tell? Because I think against the Browns, he was hobbled. But he still gave us 2 touchdowns with no interceptions before he left the game.
Yeah.
Even when he came back against the Titans week 10 last year, 2019, 2 years ago, I guess, by calendars, he was still a little hobbled with that ankle, with that knee, whatever it may have been, that lower body injury. Still gave us 3 touchdowns. I think it was 470 yards, if I'm not mistaken. So imagine what he could have done healthy. You hit the nail on the head when you said everybody at this junction is time.
Everybody.
Like, you've played at this point where there was no preseason, but at this point, you've played about 5 months of ball. 5 months of ball, about 18, 19 weeks of football. One, you're physically tired of being there. Let's be real.
Done.
You've been there. I've been there once. I went to the playoffs one time. You're physically exhausted. You're mentally exhausted. So everybody tired. Even if Patrick Mahomes isn't 100%, I don't think we'll notice.
Yeah, but you have to notice, because this is what happens. Every round of the playoffs, obviously, the competition gets stiffer. So even if you want to stay the same, they are not. The Buffalo Bills will not be the Cleveland Browns for whatever reason you want to identify. Here's the thing, big dog. Chiefs have now scored fewer than 28 points in 5 of their last 7 games. The Chiefs? Are you kidding me? Matter of fact, if you want to take out the Week 17 tap out by Patrick Mahomes, because he's Patrick Mahomes, he doesn't have to play that game, the 71 points they scored in those last 3 starts, second fewest in any 3-game span for Patrick Mahomes in his career. I mean, you got to dive into these details, as Acho loves to tell me, and now, you know what? I believe you. It's not what have you done, it's what have you done for me lately. And lately, Patrick Mahomes, like his body is telling him, is just a little to say he's not at full strength, but I guess you can feel better because no one is at full strength this time in the playoffs. But that said, he's facing a team, at least defensively, that feels like they're at full strength. And that's the Buffalo Bills and that defense. Of the 4 remaining defenses, they're the best in terms of scoring defense, only allowing 13.5 points a game. Think about it. They faced the Indianapolis Colts team with a tremendous offensive coordinator named Nick Sirianni.